talk about connecting. I am in Zoom, hopefully going live to Facebook. It's being super glitchy, which is hilarious because that's part of my point tonight is that it can be super glitchy. So let's see what happens, shall we? This will be fun. All right. The topic is connecting. If you have been paying attention, this Healthy, Wealthy, Wise series is a 12-part series based on kind of my last 4 years living and breathing and working and all those things here on the planet. So some of them are, it's just personal and professional lessons that I've learned. Some personal, the healthy part, and then a lot of professional lessons, hence the wealthy, and all both of those things together, the why. So we're live in Zoom. If you're trying to get in, I will add you as I can. I don't have a co-pilot tonight, and we should be broadcasting on the Direct Sales Institute. We shall see, because Facebook is not being very friendly tonight. So our topic is connecting, and it's hilarious that I'm getting all these glitchy messages from Facebook on whether we're live or not. Because it's really, really kind of my point. People crave connection. It has been a rough 4.5, almost, gosh, almost going into 5 years now, with the pandemic and all that brought and the social separation. And we really turned to social media during that time to connect with people. And what we got instead of real connection was, boy, they capitalized on it. And they, there was a lot of ads and a lot of pushed content and paid for content. A lot of that was divisive. A lot of people stepped back from social media completely on a personal level because of that. And so they could have really provided a conduit. And I'm on Zoom tonight is how I'm facilitating this. And I will say that one of the things that Zoom did that was so beautiful was they just offered it free. Like you can use Zoom to do family Thanksgiving or business meetings or church groups or whatever. We're here for you because, we're all part of this. It was really a great thing that Zoom did. So, in thinking about that and social media, and I've been saying this for years, like 10 years ago, it was so easy to build a business here. We had what we used to call organic reach. It was fabulous. You just posted something and most of your contacts saw it. They just pushed it in the feed. They weren't doing all this paid content and advertiser content. People hadn't really learned to use it, not just for marketing, but also, to push particular agendas. I don't want to get off on a topic, but it really was just about people, friends. I joined Facebook to connect with my high school friends and maybe some family that was at a distance and people that I had lost connection with. And that's what it really was about in the beginning. Now, they make their money. Every time I see the hoax floating across Facebook that Facebook's going to start charging $6.95 a day, a month or whatever, and post this on your profile, really, come on. If you're going to be here, like learn the rules. Number one, posting something on your profile does not give you any jurisdiction at all. You signed up for free to be on this profile, this platform. They're going to do what they want to do, and they're never going to charge for it. I shouldn't say never. At this juncture, they're not going to charge for it because they are making millions, millions, billions of dollars with paid content. All those little ads that you see, things that pop up and say sponsored, and here's all your friends that like it. That's where they make their money. They're not going to charge $7 a month for this. It's just, it doesn't even make any kind of financial sense. But anyway, that one rears its ugly head from time to time. It's kind of comical. So the thing with social media, and we're Facebook and Instagram primarily, and I talk a lot about Facebook where I'm broadcasting live to Facebook right now. And we've got groups and a lot of direct sellers. I mean, that's where you're living because you have groups, you're living and dying in your VIP group, which is frustrating. We can talk about that a little bit. And people say, oh, well, what about Instagram? It's Facebook 2.0. It's a little bit different. The organic reach is a little bit better right now, but still in a year or 2 years or whatever, we're going to be in the same boat that we're in. And Facebook just announced 3 days ago after I did last week's training that they're going to cut off all third-party access, which is everything you use for scheduling, things like Zoom, things like that. So it's interesting. It is, you can connect here. And you can build relationships here, but it's very difficult, even for experts. So several people announced today who have huge groups, hundreds of thousands of people in Facebook groups, that they're moving away from it because group interaction is terrible. The viewership is terrible. They're not getting any, bang for their buck or their time in investing in a group in that community. And so it's just really a waste of time for them. So if you're feeling frustrated as a direct seller or a solo entrepreneur and you think it's you, it's not you. If you think it's your company, it's probably not the company you're with. It really is social media. And so we continue to do, it always reminds me of this old book, Who Moved My Cheese. It's a great book. If you've never read it, like order that one. It's like $6. Um, we continue to do the same things that we've always done, waiting for the same results, and they're not coming. And so we get frustrated, and instead of changing what we're doing, we change companies, or we get frustrated and we quit, or whatever. And so it doesn't matter often. And look, there's great new companies launching all the time. There's something to be said for startups. They're really fun and exciting. And sometimes a company changes what you need. But if you're going to change companies and do the exact same things that you're doing, you're going to be in the exact same boat that you're in. So learn the lesson and apply it wherever you want to apply it, I guess. So we can increase connection. And this is not really a social media training. It's kind of an anti-social media training. You can increase your connection with others and who sees your post by really engaging with them in a meaningful way. It used to be just post and pray. You'll probably heard me say that. You post, people see it, they pop on it or they don't. And now you really have to dig deep and work hard to build those connections. And so instead of doom scrolling, scroll with purpose and intent. Comment on other people's stuff. I do things like happy birthdays because I want people to feel special. And, birthdays are special. It's your one day that you share with, I don't know how many other people, but it's your one day. So I always do the public birthday, but then I message people too, because I want to have that connection. Messenger and Facebook kind of split, but the algorithms are the same. So I will promise you that if you message with someone, they're more likely to see your content and you're more likely to see their content because Facebook is trying to keep us here. They're just not really doing a very good job of it. So always message people on their birthday too. I also don't want every message they get from me to be business related. So if someone post something that I like or is meaningful to me, I'll comment on it. And then I might message them and say, gosh, I really love that post. That really spoke to me, or 100% agree with you, or I never thought of it like that, or whatever. I'm really building relationships. And so much of the time, we kind of treat this as an infomercial where we just push content out and then people take that in and they act on it. But people buy from people they know and people they like. And if you don't have a relationship at all with them, they can't know or like you. And there's some great things we've talked in previous sessions on this particular series about the importance of reels and authenticity to a degree. I mean, I think sometimes people are a little too real sometimes, but they need to know you so that they can connect with you. So there's content that you can put out there. But again, Facebook determines who sees the content. And right now, reels and videos are kind of where it's at. I also get great results with text only posts, which is kind of funny. They don't tell us. It's like they're constantly tinkering around with it, and we've got to read the clues and figure out what the heck is going on. So engage with others in a meaningful way on whatever platform it is if you want to be seen and heard and build relationships. Instagram is better for organic connection right now, or organic reach. You got a better chance of posting something, particularly if it's a reel or a video medium of some sort, than on Facebook. But again, Instagram is going to be right here in a year and a half or 2 years or whatever it is. It depends on how quickly it moves. Organic reach on Facebook is on life support. And lots of people make lots of money training on organic reach. But again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great your content is because Facebook gets to pick who they push that out to. So the relationship piece is important. Facebook groups, which most you guys are using, are terrible for timely communications. Facebook recently, 6 months ago, a year ago, time flies when you're having fun, introduced the @everyone, which you can use in your groups. And supposedly everyone gets a push notification. Well, a lot of everyone got really irritated with those and they just blocked them, turned them off. So they don't see them at all. So now if you use the @everyone, it'll say some members may get a notification. What's happening in the last couple of months, I'm seeing it really bad in the last probably 30 days since Christmas, that you'll get a notification so-and-so tagged you and others, but it's from 5 days ago. So we're using the at everyone. Like if your company offers a pop-up sale, for example, and it's a 72-hour sale, which, I do not love when companies do that. And anytime that I with companies, I'm like, that's really, really hard because you're really just selling to your consultants because they don't have time to communicate that out. So that 72-hour lag, and that most of you guys don't even have the means beyond social media to communicate that out. And they're literally, I got an at everyone tag from a group today that was 5 days old. If that was your 72-hour pop-up, forget about it. The sale's over, and I didn't even know about it. And then you feel like I don't care and don't want to buy from you, when in fact, I didn't even know you're having a sale because Facebook chose not to tell me that. Even though I signed up for your group and you at everyone, they just deigned not to tell me that. So terrible for communications. Facebook has been for hardcore 6 years, a pay to play environment, which means they want your money. So you can boost all day long, but most of you guys can't boost. It's against your corporate policy. You can't spend any money on advertising, which is, I'm just saying it, an archaic company policy that might have made sense 10 years ago when they were trying to make a level playing field and when organic reach was a thing, but it doesn't work anymore. And so to say to your consultants, you can't pay to boost really ties your hands behind your back because there's what they're saying to you is you can't be seen. And there's all kinds of other rules about what you can post on your profile that your company has. Facebook really doesn't care. You can post sales and specials and whatever. But most of you guys are trying to work in a group, maybe in a business page, and there really isn't a lot of viewership there unless you're, have a really, really engaged audience, unless you've done all the right things. And even if you have, it may not be that great. So that is a barrier to you for success on Facebook, Instagram. And here's the other really frightening thing. I have two pages. One is just me, and then one's Direct Sales Institute. I probably have 15,000 followers, fans between those two groups. I can't look those people up. I can't look and see who's following my page. You can get to it in part if you dig hard enough. So I have spent 20 years, a lot of boosting money to build a base, and I don't even know who they are because Facebook chooses not to let me see that. It's kind of a problem. And you get a business profile on Instagram too. It's the same thing. I can't see who those people are. If they comment on something I post, I can see and I can message them and connect with them. But if they're silent viewers, silent followers, I have no idea who they are. I know maybe what state they live in, what country, what times they're on, but I can't really connect with them in a meaningful way because Facebook holds that information hostage. And those are my people that I brought to the platform that signed up for my page. You can see who's in your group, but when it comes to business pages, you can't. You can see on your profile, which I'll just throw this out there. There's a Facebook professional profile. I have one. It gives you some different views, insights into what's going on your regular profile. And a lot of people want their profile to be all private and stuff. That's tough. It's a different age in social media these days. So that's my biggest problem is you don't own your contacts and you don't even really have access to who some of those contacts are. So I would say that social media is important, but it's not the whole business. And when I started in the industry, when we walked school uphill both ways, we didn't have this. We really had phone and snail mail and fax. Maybe you could fax people. And so there's some old school stuff that might just be applicable these days. But I don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, people really abdicated the control of their business to Facebook because they made it easy in the beginning. Now they're making it really hard and making it expensive. Messenger is great. You can connect with people completely in Messenger. They don't even have to have a Facebook account. It is kind of a standalone. And I will say that it really helps to route people back around to the content that you're posting. A lot of times, I don't know why we're this way. If you're in sales, sales is a people business. It's a connection business. And we don't want to message folks. We don't want to message people in our group or people who say, yes, I'm coming to a Facebook party or whatever. there's some kind of, I don't know, discomfort with that. But if you don't, chances are they're not seeing what you're posting. And I just took part in a Facebook event that was a multi-vendor kind of thing. And the person who invited me did a great job connecting with me on Messenger because it's so convoluted. By the time posts started showing up in my feed, the event was over. I was completely lost just trying to follow what's in my feed. People are not going to click that link and go into the group. They're going to read whatever's in the feed, and it's all back to front. I think the event ended 2 days ago, and I got the notification today of how to join the door prize drawing. I mean, it's really that bad. So if you're feeling frustrated, that's why. It's not because people don't care what you're talking about. It's because Facebook makes it like a breadcrumb trail to figure out what in the heck is going on. So had she not connected with me in Messenger, number one, she invited me in Messenger. She didn't just add me to a group, which is great. Kudos to you. And then she periodically along the way said, "Oh, are you seeing things? Did you see this? Did you see that? The last day for the drawing is whatever." I would have been completely clueless if not for that. So the messenger piece is really, really important if you want to do virtual events, do Facebook parties, and make them successful. And if you have a team, you may be hearing that your team is frustrated. They need this information. And sometimes you'll hear, "Oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to bother anybody." Well, they already signed up for the event or they already joined your group. They raised their hand and said, "Yes, I'd like to learn more." So building this warm connection is important. It's key because again, they're just not going to see it. So enough about social media and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of that. TikTok really has great organic reach right now. I don't dance, but it's whatever platform you're thinking, "Oh, yeah, but," you're going to end up right back here in a year or 2 years. And so it's really important to embrace some of these other core concepts. Um, Good news, bad news, right? Some of you may check out at this point. So text, this is the highest response rate and it's the quickest turnaround. So if your company has a habit of doing things like pop-up sales, 24 hour, 72-hour, whatever, you need their text information. Because you're never going to get that to them. You can sit down and message people until Facebook blocks you from messaging too fast. That's the other thing they do. Come here, connect with people. You messaged too many people too quick. We're going to put you in timeout now. And then your pop-up sale's over and you didn't sell anything because Facebook didn't help you out. So my favorite, and I went through, oh gosh, 24 probably different services, vetting them for what really worked for direct sellers. And I did a little stint with a company, with a startup on the field side. And it was so incredibly helpful because it's one thing to do it from this vantage point. It's another thing to do it from that consultant level where you're really trying to get this information out. You're trying to communicate with your team also. So everything I'm saying about customers applies to your team as well. And your team is not reading corporate emails. They're not plugged in. If you have a team, you're the leader and you're way more plugged in than they are. And that communication is really tough, even if you have a Facebook group and you add everyone, they're not getting it. So Project Broadcast was my favorite for a couple of reasons. It was really affordable. I love that there's a real working number. It's not a one-way street. People can text me. I can text them back. They can call that number. It's not my actual cell phone number, but they can call me and it rings to my cell. So it works just like if it were my text number, excuse me. You can create a segmented list based on interest. So on mine, I've got a Monday motivation. So, as a matter of fact, I think I've got my number on here somewhere. Yeah, 246-7042. You can text Monday to that number, and every Monday you'll get a little epigram from me. I've got a number of things that you can sign up for text message reminders. You can text HWW for Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise to that number, and you'll get a reminder of each one of these 12 topics that we're covering. And, I asked the people who were signed up, I've got, I don't know, a couple hundred people signed up for that. And I sent out a message and said, let me know if you find particularly the 1 hour or our calls in 2 hours reminders helpful. And the overwhelming majority was like, yes, it's so helpful because I want to do it. And then I forget. And then, I missed it. So people care. They're just busy. So we just have to be that helpful little reminder for them. They can text a keyword to join, like I just told you guys, which is really fun. You can do all kinds of contests and fun things with that. You can set up campaigns, a drip campaign. Day one, when they join, they get this text. And then 10 days later, they get this text. You can do it on a calendar, like my Monday motivation. Every Monday, there's a message. You can set up birthdays. Just, get everybody's birthday information. Those who don't, think that you're running some kind of weird scam wanting their birthday. And you can set it up that they get a birthday message. Maybe it's a discount or a free gift with purchase in their birthday month every year. How many things do you really get for your birthday? Not much. Usually my dentist sends me something. So that's about it. So there's all kinds of different campaigns that you can set up. It's automated. You type it one time. You can include voice clips. You can include videos, text, images, whatever. It goes out to everyone. You can see who opened it. They can reply back to you. You can have an actual conversation like normal people. It's fantastic. Constant Contact has an extensive training library, which is wonderful. So you don't have to figure it out on your own. They have great customer service. You can text them right within the app and they'll respond back. Have been wonderful every time that I've had a question. It's about $20 a month, depending on your use. You buy credits. And so I text quite a bit, and I don't think I ever spend more than $40 or something. So that's just dirt cheap, if you ask me, versus texting it, 100 times, which isn't spam compliant, by the way. You have to offer an opt out. It's like a federal government thing. There's 50% off your first month. I also love that there's referral bonuses, which means you can share your code. Here's my link there, and I'll post this in the comments, but you can share your code with others and they can join and you get, free credits and stuff. How great. If you're going to share something that you love, you might as well get something for that effort. So text, if there's nothing else that you incorporate into your business, I would encourage text. It depends on demographic, but most people are pretty okay with that. Particularly, you're going to ask their permission. We'll get to that here in a second. Y'all let me know what questions you have. I've got an eye on questions too. The other thing is email. It is still relevant. There's a slower response time. Most people check their email. I shouldn't say most. I would say the vast majority, every 72 hours, they check it. Some people, it's a week, particularly if they give you a bum email. I mean, it could be whatever, a year before they check that, but it lives longer. I can go back through. I was just looking for something the other day and I can type, in my email, whatever the company is, to find whoever sent me that email. And let me say this too. Your company is probably offering something on your behalf. I'm the Air Bunnies tonight. If you ever watch Modern Family, the air quotes, they are retargeting your customers and you don't have any control over that. And all that customer has to do is get irritated one time with one too many emails that your company has chosen to send out, and then they're not getting your information anymore. So maintaining your own list is really, really important if you're going to have control over your business, which is really kind of the topic tonight, is having control over your ability to connect with your customers, your teammates, and your potential customers and teammates. Constant Contact, I like it. It supports our industry. There's a couple out there, and you literally read in their P&Ps, policies, or whatever, it says they don't support the direct selling industry. They actually list us along with pornography and stuff. It is unbelievable what their bad attitude is about direct selling. So you can set it up and you can send out a few, and the first time they catch a little keyword like join special or recruiting or whatever, they'll shut your whole account down and you've lost everything that you've done. You have to start all over again. And I mean MailChimp. I'm going to call them out right there. It makes me hot when people talk ugly about our industry. I have been here 30 years and this industry made me who I am. So I get very, very defensive of it. So I use Constant Contact because they actually support our industry. Segmented lists, again, it can be customers, it can be your teammates, it can be people who have said, oh, I always want to know about a special. It can be people who sign up for a newsletter, or let's say you're in jewelry and you do a fashion e-zine or whatever every 90 days. So you can put people on different lists. They can opt in and out and you can add them. Constant Contact is nice because it integrates with social media. Like you can create a little newsletter. I feel like I'm talking fast, am I? You can create a newsletter or a message, and it'll give you the option to share this to wherever, a couple of different options, which is nice. It is spam compliant, which is also a rule. You can't just email people from your personal account without an opt-out. I mean, probably no one's going to report you, but it's a pretty big deal with the United States government. There is right now with Constant Contact 30% off for 3 months. They also offer referral bonuses, which is really nice because you can get free credits and free, free email. I shouldn't say credits, but anyway, yeah, it is credits back. It's like $10 referral credits. So I've been on Constant Contact for, I don't know, 15 years probably. And there's newer things and snazzier things and things come and go, but I find this one really easy to use with a lot of function. You can do landing pages. You can, link it with things that people can sign up. Like if you have a business page, you can set it up so that people can sign right up for your email list. And you can do that by saying, hey, I've got, here's what month are we? February. Here's the spring fashion forecast. Here's the free download. And to get that free download, they enter their email address. They go onto your Constant Contact, and then you can set it up where it'll send them that free download. People are all over the place using, 6 or 8 different programs to do something that really 1 or 2 programs will do for you. And that makes it complicated, it makes it expensive, and it's kind of a lot to keep up with if you're also raising children, running a household, working a full-time job, and also doing your business. So I feel like this makes your life a little bit easier because they do offer so many different things, and they've got some great training on it too. They've got a great Facebook group. Project Broadcast has a great Facebook group too. But again, you got to go looking for the information, but there's a lot of good content in there too. Is there anything else that they offer? There's newsletters, there's templates for email and Constant Contact, which makes life a little bit easier. So let's talk about, okay, Michelle, but I don't have anybody. And I hear this from people all the time. I don't have my customers' information, which is interesting to me. I mean, it should be in your virtual office if they've ordered. But sometimes they order from a party or you're doing a bulk order or whatever, and you don't have that. So, how do I build the list? This is the age-old question. And, something that we say is the money is in the list. So if you don't have one, that could pose a problem for you because again, you don't have control over who you communicate with. Someone else does. So ask every customer, whoever purchases, whoever comes to Facebook party, a Facebook event, an in-person. Hopefully, if you're doing things in person, you're actually having them fill out some kind of paperwork so that you have, email, text. I always put a little box that says, yes, I'd love to know about, pop-up sales and specials and new products. So ask people. Your team list should be in your virtual office. I've worked with companies where they don't make that available, which is really hard for a leader. But that's in your virtual office. You can just upload that. They can opt out if they don't like it. They've signed up. Part of your job is to communicate with them. You can also do a little text thing. Hey, text team whatever to this number and make sure never miss a hot new product launch or pop-up sale or whatever. A lot of your team are really high-level VIPs. They're really product junkies. And so they think more like consumers. So you've got 2 sides of the house. You've got people who are builders and you have people that are consumers. And they share with some friends and they may bring a few people into the business, but they need a little extra attention more than whatever the company is sending out in email. So ask them, add it to your group. Either you can add questions and make it fun. Like from time to time, the company throws out a sale for VIPs only. He's only. How would you like to receive that information? Not would you, but how would you? I would like to receive it by email. I would like to receive it by text. Have them fill that out. No, I don't want to know about that. Okay, great. Leave it blank. Advertising value content to your followers. And this is something you see a lot on Instagram is a great example where it's just a little bit different. I feel like it's almost less personal than Facebook is sometimes, but throwing that out there, like I have Motivational Monday. You can offer a Motivational Monday. Everyone needs a little happy in their life, a little positive message. Maybe you do something fun on Wednesday. Maybe you do Fashion Friday, or it just depends on what your company is. What's for dinner Wednesday if you're with a culinary. Maybe you do a recipe of the week. There's a meme that says, never did I believe that being an adult would be asking or answering the question, what's for dinner every night for the rest of my life? So if you do something food related, how great would it be to have a little recipe club that people could sign up for via text or email? Text, you're going to get way better response. So if you can funnel them towards text, you're going to get better results. quarterly newsletter, those VIP specials. It's got an asterisk because I know that sometimes some of you cannot share a special, a homemade special. You can only share company specials, but your company will offer specials. So you need a way to get this out to your demographic, your base quickly. And that means your team as well. Pop-up deals, if the company is offering that. Contest keywords. Some of you can do contests, some of you can't do contests. I'm not here to tell you how to get around the law, but I will. If I sold jewelry, for example, and they wouldn't let me do a contest, I would do some kind of fashion thing and say, hey, I'm giving away one of my favorite fashion pieces, text, whatever freebie to whatever number. As long as you don't attach your company information to it, there really isn't much they can do because you're not doing it as the company, you're just as an individual. Now, if your business page that you're doing this from is Julie's company name, you're going to get in trouble for that. So anyway, I'm here to help. You could do something like host a text only party, like a, 4-hour, whatever, 3-day, 3 messages a day, whatever. There's a couple of different formats that you could do to get people to opt in. That might take some messaging. You may have to message some people to get that going, but there's a lot of ways to build that list. So hopefully this has been helpful, a little longer than I wanted. I'm trying to keep these short and sweet. Y'all can ask any questions. I don't see any right now in the comments, but again, we might have a lag on Facebook. So y'all let me know what you thought. If you're not getting notifications about this, remember, you can text Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise to my number, and I'll put that. I'm going to go back into the header and put that. All right, y'all have a great Tuesday. Have a great Valentine's Day next week. I should see you before Valentine's Day. Anyway, thanks for joining me. As always, I hope it helps you build a better business, a happier business, be a little less frustrated, and maybe a little bit more successful. All right, good night, everybody.